and kids on VR. Well, I looked up the fact because, they had like issues with adults and kids on VR. So I thought, look up the facts. And there are, in fact, 25 to 30% of VR game players, not just using VR, but the game players, are children, 18 and under. So it's 25 to 30%, which means that 75% of VR game players are adults. Okay, that's quite a difference there. Like, 3 times the amount of adults playing VR video games. They almost make it seem like it's mostly children. It's like, oh wow, you all have incorrect statistics. Maybe you had an assumption or something. I don't know. But, I could see why there's so many adults playing. I mean, look at myself. I was born in 1978. And I grew up in the, 80s, 90s. I was a child. And, my parents, got us the Atari 2600. I was playing that, since ever I could even remember. And then when I was 8 years old, Nintendo came out, the NES system. They got that right away. It's pretty cool. It was one of those, like, Toys R Us. I mean, it was like, actually, I think that was maybe Children's Palace, but maybe Toys R Us. The strange thing, when there was that transition between Atari and Nintendo, and then also then Sega came out, they changed the whole place from a Children's Palace to Toys R Us, the exact store. And then when PlayStation and Xbox came out, I think in the 90s to around 2000 era, they changed the whole store into Best Buy. And it's still Best Buy today. But yeah, my parents got me the NES, then the Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, but also a black and white Game Boy. And then they had the Wii. When I dropped out of college, I was playing that back at their place. That was pretty fun. And now I have the Nintendo Switch, just the first one. But, oh yeah, me and my friends, and then me alone, I mean, I played a whole lot of video games. It was non-stop video games growing up. They even got me the Nintendo Power monthly magazine. And then they get these joysticks, little things for my birthday and Christmas, It was fun. And then a lot of my friends from school would have arcade birthday parties. And their parents would rent the whole arcade out. And we'd have a pizza party, and it was just us in the arcade and everything. Well, you didn't have to put money in. You just play anything. So, that happened a whole lot. It's almost like each parent wanted to do at least one arcade birthday party. That was at Atlantis Castle. Of course, I went to Chuck E. Cheese my fair share. I have 3 cousins on my dad's side, and the male cousin's about my age. We're only a month apart, but he has 2 older sisters, and I have an older sister. And one of his older sisters worked at Chuck E. Cheese when we were about 10 years old. So his parents used to drive us up to Chuck E. Cheese and drop us off while she was working. And me and him, even though we were 10, it was kind of a little younger, Chuck E. Cheese. It was about that age, though. I mean, 10's fine, So we'd always play all the games up there and try to get tickets to get those prizes. Man, those cost a lot of tickets just to get anything. But so we had a good time there too. But yeah, I've been playing video games my whole life. I don't think I'll ever stop. Period. I mean, what are we talking about? When VR came out, I didn't notice it, and I must have missed the commercials and stuff in social media. But I found it in 2020, and that's when I got it. And it was the Oculus Quest. They also had a few other brands. I forgot the names of those. But I went with the Quest. And then the Quest 2 came out, I got that. The third one's out, I haven't got that one. But I realize there's other VR gaming systems. I know PlayStation has one. And then I got online and looked them up. There's some really expensive ones. I don't even know what kind of games they have. I don't think a lot of the VRs are actually linked to each other. I think some of them are and some of them aren't. But yeah, I don't think I'll ever quit gaming. Well, I looked up the fact because